welcome back to my channel. My name is Carly Stevens. I'm a teacher and author, and this is English Nerd. Today we're talking about taking notes in English class, which I know can be a challenging thing when you don't have a PowerPoint, for example, with all the information on it, or when the teacher is just lecturing about a work of literature. How do you know what to take notes on? How can you be efficient while still listening and absorbing the information that is out there? So the idea for this video actually came from Bastion pens, which is a type of luxury pen. They were kind enough to send me one, so I'm going to open this in a little bit, and you'll also get an honest review of the Bastion pens as well, which look really, really nice. So if you're in the market for a really nice pen to take your notes with, then definitely check them out. All right, some things to keep in mind as you're taking notes in English class. First, keep your subjects separated. So if you are, say, in college or even in high school, I know most of these videos are geared toward a high school audience, keep your notes separate. If you have two different English classes, keep those notes apart. If you have a science class and an English class, don't be taking all of your notes in one place. It's going to make life much more difficult for you when it comes to studying for exams, for example. You want the right information in the right place so that you can just review what is relevant to what you need at the time. It makes things much easier to find. Second tip is to create headings. Now, the type of heading is going to vary per class, but a heading can look, a heading or a label can look like the name of the short story that you're studying. So you have a label, The Telltale Heart, Edgar Allan Poe, and then those notes, Open Boat, etc. So it can be something like that. It can be the chapter that you're really doing a deep dive into. It can be act, scene, line number, or I'm sorry, just act and scene. You wouldn't get into line numbers quite yet. If you're studying a Shakespeare play, for example, if your class is organized more in terms of themes and things like that, rather than chronologically going through a work, then say, all right, transcendentalism, and then everything is under that. Or if you're talking about a character for an entire class period, then say, all right, Sydney Carton, there's my note. If you have those headings, those labels, then it's going to, again, make life much easier for you. And it's something very simple that you can just, that draws the eye, so you know what it is that you're looking at, and again, can find what you need. The second thing is using shorthand. So again, this will vary by English class, but shorthand can look like just an initial for a character that is the only important character with that initial. Just things to shorten the amount of time that it actually takes to take notes. Something particularly helpful with this is to, rather than write out a full important quotation, most English classes, all of them, in my opinion, should be diving into particular quotations and why they're important and all of that, rather than writing out the play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king. Instead, what I would recommend is writing the page number, or again, in the case of a play, maybe the act, scene, line number, and just writing the first couple words, ... last couple words, so you know exactly what it is you're looking for on that page, but you don't need to spend all that time writing out the entire, whatever it is, but you have a record of the important quotation that could be really helpful for quizzes, essays, exams later on. So yeah, shorthand, figure out what makes sense for your class and try to shorten those things up. Just remember to revert back to full words and stuff when you are writing an essay. Sometimes I'll see people shorthand in there, so just word of the wise. Okay, something else that can be really helpful is just bullet points. I'm not somebody who works really well with an impromptu outline that has Roman numerals and things like that. Instead, having a heading with some bullet points underneath can be really all I need depending on the style of the class. So maybe you're talking all about a character. All right, here are the characterization points, the scenes, the quotations that we really took a close look at regarding him. Or if you're reading a Shakespeare play, here are the things that happen, here are the elements that were highlighted, just very short bullet points. So again, you are getting those notes, but you're also listening to and engaging with what's going on in the class. You're not writing down everything that's being said in these big paragraphs, and you're not just sitting back and doing nothing either. It's a nice in-between where you get that information down. Okay, another, let's see. You know, I'm going to pause here. I have one more tip that has been really helpful for me, but before I get to that, I want to open my Bastion pen. So Bastion pens, it says at Bastion, we believe everyone writes their own story, which is music to my ears. I wrote Laertes, a Hamlet retelling, among other works, so I'm all about writing stories. Whether you spend it making plans, achieving your goals, or reflecting on your success, every day is a new page. Bastion guarantees your pen performs. We all know it's like the worst thing when you have one of those sort of scratchy pens where it doesn't actually get the ink on the page, or it's very, very light. I love it when it just rolls and it's dark and the pen tip is kind of thin, you know, all those preferences that we English people have. All right, so I'm going to unpack this. There's a lot of plastic on here, so it'll be loud and crunchy, sorry. One thing that surprised me, and actually was the reason that I chose this topic for the video, once I got the confirmation of the Bastion pen order, I also got a free ebook all about productivity and tips like that. So if this kind of thing is helpful for you, that organization, that improving your productivity, efficiency, all of that, then it's just an extra perk for ordering one of these beautiful pens. So let's open this up here. Beautiful packaging already. So it came in this. It also came with an additional ink refill, which is nice. So it's like a little ink refill. All right, Bastion pens. What have you got for me? Okay, I'm not the most spatially intelligent, so it took me a second, but it's like not hard to undo. Ooh, look, it has some foam. I feel like a secret agent or something opening my special pen here. Ooh, lovely. So I got the thin, oh, this has like weight to it. I can tell how nice this is just from how heavy this this lovely black pen is. Oh my goodness. So I got the black thin bolt action pen. I think there's another part of the name, but I'm impressed that I remember that much. So bolt action means this little thingy there. So let's test it out. You noticed probably that I was looking down at my analog notes, so I take notes as well. I'm going to try on this. So we're gonna bolt action that thing. It feels like some kind of machinery. Goodness. All right, so it's tipped with some like wax or something to keep it safe. Take that off. All right, moment of truth. This really is like the heaviest pen that I have used in a long time, even though it looks like a normal size. Okay, so here we go. Live and in person. That's quite nice. It's not as dark as I was anticipating, but that could also just be me and my unreasonable expectations. Okay, I'm continuing to write stuff. It does have a very satisfying heft. It does write consistently and well, but it isn't quite as dark as I would normally like. I like the I don't know what millimeter this is. I like the really dark or the really thin, so I can write in book margins and things like that. So this would be good for writing in book margins. This is also nice because you can just have this one pen and then continue to refill it with these little ink refills rather than getting new ones. And you feel fancy as heck while you're writing stuff. So yeah, a few pros to getting these pens. They're a really nice gift for the upcoming holiday season, and also you will get a small discount if you use my link down below if you're interested in checking out Bastion pens for yourself. The folks over there are really nice, and again, you get that information all about productivity along with this pen that is I mean, you can show that off. You can show that off at a party if you're that kind of person, I guess. All right, I told you that there was one more tip that is great for taking notes in English. So I've already covered the basics. So what I do if the teacher it throws me a curveball and I want to make sure that it stands out, that I find it. What I do is what a lot of textbooks do, and that is put an inset box. So maybe I'm taking my notes. Wait, let me get my I can just illustrate exactly what I'm talking about here with my bolt action. Okay, so I am taking my notes, bullet points, etc., etc. Then I get a curveball or a term or something that is just slightly out of what we were talking about, and I want it to stand out. What I'll do is I'll just put an inset box off to the side in some of the white space. So maybe this is terms, you get alliteration, anaphora, etc. So you have this. And then you can go back and highlight some of those headings. You can highlight the boxes. That can also draw the eye and make it easier when it comes to absorbing a lot of information for exams, which are coming up really quickly if you are in high school or college. All right, with that, I must leave you all, but hopefully this was helpful for you as you're trying to become more efficient in absorbing all that information and making good use of it for yourself. All right, if you have any other tips for taking notes in English specifically, then please leave those down below. Check out the link to the Bastion pens, and I will see you next week. Bye.